Then we asked the historian as to how and why we became like this. And he summoned us to sit down cross-legged around the fireside and pay attention. He took a chigarabakwati and sat on it. And this was his narration. As soon as we came back from fighting the enemy in the bush, we were not welcomed by ululations at home. For a great adversary, one who looked like us, one who sucked the same breast with us, had taken over. He did us great injustice and caused great injury. Our homes were burned down, our children enslaved and our wives captured. Our storehouses and granaries had been brought down and consumed in fire. Wailing replaced premature celebrations. Our remaining years, originally meant for laughter, were replaced by continued fights and weeping. The brother turned adversary presented himself to the people like one of us, the freedom fighters. The children we conceived in this era of theoretical freedom were in chains. The brother became a law unto himself. In the bush, we had promised to drink together from the natural calabash equally at home. But he took the calabash with the aid of his friends, and they climbed the tallest slippery tree with the aid of a flying basket. As soon as they were up, they kept the flying basket a personal property to themselves. They instructed that if we wanted to drink from the national calabash with them, we had to climb the tall slippery tree through human effort. We had to sing songs of admiration, waiting for a turn that never came. At the base of the tree were vipers and arrows that were planted in the ground facing upwards. All of us who dared come near the tree to climb never got anything but urine and excretions from the high table, injuries, scars and death in return. Blessed are they who own seats on the high table, for they have the right to claim and patronize patriotism and label the suffering masses who want to try neo-colonialists. They intermarried up there, and their children were born royal. They would fly in a day in the basket to meet us at a place we had to walk for years to arrive. Our feet developed blisters, and our shoes got torn because of exposure to fluctuating harsh weather conditions. One voice in the crowd cried out, "Enough!" Then we had a consciousness to cut the tall, slippery tree down and bring equality for ourselves, our children, and future generations. Cut the tall, slippery tree down became our slogan. We were united in purpose, but wrongly labeled active agents of neo-colonialism. We could not celebrate human-induced poverty. In a society of thievery, corruption, tomfoolery, nincompoopary, thuggery, bribery, and blackmailing, some just people had to stand and call an end to the hullabaloo. Our freedom train was derailed for a long time. Some of us were bribed by cars, houses and dirty coins, cigarettes and whiskey to kill us and sell us out. Some strong voices amongst us thought it not worthwhile to continue fighting for the people, but for their stomachs, and treacherously accepted the 30 pieces of silver to keep quiet or start to lambast us. Yes, our brothers and sisters in the struggle were bought. They turned their backs on us. They wished us dead and subjected us to torture. Some strong pillars of the struggle succumbed to death. Some disappeared and were never to be seen again up to this day. Some died to poisoning and some were imprisoned. Some grew tired and withdrew, while others started singing songs of honor of those who were up the tree for crumbs that fell from the master's table. They sang for fragments of food from the high table that fell on mud, down on the mud. But we continued in resilience. We have continued in resilience up to this day. For as long as the tall, slippery tree remains, our children have no future. For as long as the tall, slippery tree remains, resources and fattest portions of the land will continue belonging to the high table. For as long as the tall, slippery tree remains, our young will continue turning to drugs, while the old commit suicide due to politically induced mental health deteriorations. For as long as the tall, slippery tree remains, equality and the means of production will forever be a futile atomic dream to the peasants. One day I will close my eyes and close them for good. I've been a fighter, I'm a fighter now, and shall continue to do so. Let me assure you, you young generation, that you are not alone. Take this message to the citizens and tell them, you are not alone. Our problems are man-made, yes, and the masses must unite in suffering to remove the root cause of the problem. To the vendor in the streets, the police are breathing heavily on your neck every day, and your life is about fighting for the next meal. You are not alone. To the teacher who cannot afford to pay fees for your child, you are not alone. To the medical doctor who dies due to lack of medication, you are not alone. To the police and soldiers whose plight is the plight of ordinary people, yes, you obey orders that hurt even your families and destroy generations to come. That is life. But in this plight, you are not alone. To the gold panner who is trying to make ends meet, and at the end of the day, a machete is resting on your back, on your neck, you are not alone. To the farmers who feed, clothe and shelter the nation, but yet struggle to feed their own families and to buy inputs, you are not alone. To the political prisoners in chains and shackles, suffering for trying to make this nation a better place, imprisoned by fellow prisoners while fighting to grant them a freedom, you are not alone. To the patients slowly dying due to lack of simple medication, you are not alone. To the combi operators bearing the scars of shambox and spikes in trying to earn a basic meal at the end of the day, you are not alone. To the parents who sold their cattle and goats to send their children to school, while their crows and pens were left desertified in expectation of better days ahead, but whose hope has vanquished into thin air, you are not alone. To the young people with mohawks, ripped jeans and dreadlocks, who never robbed anyone, but are arrested every day and fill up our prisons, while real criminals are left in suits and motorcades and claiming patriotism. Young people, you are not alone. To the generality of citizens who are choke-slammed by the economy and politics of this nation and silently dying in submission, your children are dropping out of school for no fees. You die without medication. Your clothes are second-hand clothes. And even the cars that we brag about are second-hand cars. You are expected by the gentleman from the tall tree to receive glory once. That is in the afterlife. You are not alone. You are not alone. To the graduates who have been forced by the economy and the politics of the day to resort to gambling and are spending their times in soccer shops, you are not alone. I am not alone. No one is alone in this battle. The young and the old are together. Yes, we are together. You will beat us, but you will not destroy our spirit. You will incarcerate us, but you will not kill our resolve. You will kill us, but you will not finish us. You will intimidate us, but you will not stop us. You will bully us, but you will not cow us into submission. We will march, and forever we will march. In dark and despair, we shall march. In the day and night, we shall march. In chains and shackles, we shall march. In the ballot box, we shall march. In tear gas and bitter water from canisters, we shall march. As comrades are bought and sold, we shall march. As we die in the street, we shall march still. In the rain and floods, we shall march. In the heat and cold, we shall march. Up the mountain, we shall march. And down in the valleys, we shall march. As our brothers and sisters defect and side with the oppressor, we shall march. As our brothers and sisters are killed for political reasons, and even at political rallies, we shall march. And when death comes knocking on our doors, we shall march. We shall continue marching. And onward, we shall march for freedom and for bread. We shall march. March on youth, march on the old, march on the elderly, march on our brothers, march on our sisters, up until victory is attained and victory is certain. Amandla!